They Bite, 1992 sci-fi horror movie starring rampaging sea monsters. Greetings, fiends. Today we're looking at the 1990s sci-fi horror comedy movie about randy, rampaging sea monsters called They Bite. Directed by Brett Piper, starring Donna Frotscher and Nick Baldasare. They Bite plot. Hideous sea monsters rise from the murky ocean depths to attack and mate with humans. Sounds familiar. Better late than never. They Bite had a limited release in 1992, but for some reason the film was not officially released until 1996. A VHS quality video of They Bite is on YouTube, and I grabbed all the stills from that and the crappy quality trailer. There are no good stills of this flick online, with the exception of this one really tasty promo key art featuring a buxom beach babe who sadly does not appear in the film. 1990s sci-fi horror comedy. They Bite has that late 80s, early 90s sci-fi horror comedy vibe to it, and surprisingly, much of it works pretty well. The comedic timing and chemistry with key cast members is at times hilarious, thanks to a decent script by Brett Piper. I particularly like the scenes between Donna Frotscher, Nick Baldasare, Charlie Barnett, and Christina Veronica, who all appeared very comfortable, exchanging jabs and banter in this very low-budget, obvious takeoff of Roger Corman's Humanoids from the Deep. Film within a film. A subplot of They Bite revolves around an adult film company shooting a movie in the same oceanside apartment complex inhabited by our heroine Melody Duncan, played by Donna Frotscher. They keep pounding away, keeping poor Melody up at night, and sooner than later they have a confrontation that leads into a front desk male mix-up, which further leads to the adult film company making a racy sea monster movie starring the ample talents of Christina Veronica. We see bits of this movie and the hilarious-looking sea monster suit that reminds me of the cartoonish creature from the 1965 horror comedy, The Beach Girls and the Monster, which has a rockin' trailer. Check this out.
Hip chicks are shaking in the knees because there's a monster on the beach. The Beach Girls and the Monster, starring John Hall, Sue Casey, and the glamorous Watusi dancing girls from Hollywood's famed Whiskey A Go-Go nightclub. Music by Frank Sinatra Jr. Chicks, do you have a problem? You won't have after you meet the monster on the beach.
The real creatures who attack the townfolk in They Bite look fairly good for a low-budget sci-fi horror flick. Apparently, Brett Piper did all the special effects for the film, and trust me, folks, directing and doing special effects for a film is a major pain in the ass. The effects are decent, the creatures are reasonably effective, and it definitely boosts the production value of They Bite. And speaking of sci-fi horror, the countdown to terror has begun.
The signal's getting stronger now. It won't be long.
Come quick! The monster done ate my pappy!
Do you really think this was a bear duck?
Highly unlikely.
First man on Mars. Once he was human.
There's something shiny in the rock. This is really starting to sting.
Now a bloodthirsty monster, killing and devouring the young.
and not so innocent.
Let's take a look at this, huh?
I'm gonna blast the thing back to hell.
Oh, shit.
First man on Mars.
You mean there's aliens out here? Shit, I don't want to get abducted and anal.
This film is not rated.
You can't be serious. Director Brett Piper said that Bill Lynx, who made some good money as one of the producers of a movie called Dead Time Stories from 1986, wanted him to make a movie with, quote, fish monsters and breasts, unquote. After they wrote the script, Lynx complained, saying that they turned it into a comedy. Piper told him, quote, you asked for a movie about fish monsters and breasts, and you expected me to take it seriously? Unquote. Lynx wanted a movie more like Humanoids from the Deep from 1980, but Piper felt that the movie was, quote, altogether too nasty a movie for my tastes, unquote. Damage Control. Brett Piper said in an interview that producer Bill Lynx was a nightmare. Because of him, what should have been a 2-week shoot turned into a total mess, which Piper said almost always happens when investors want to get involved as active producers. You spend half your time trying to get the movie made, and the other half doing damage control, trying to deal with the problems your producer is creating. Final film role of comedian Charlie Barnett. Comedian Charlie Barnett first made a name for himself in the late 1970s and early 1980s, performing several shows of raunchy comedy a day at outdoor parks in New York City, most notably in Washington Square Park. In September of 1980, Barnett auditioned for Saturday Night Live, and producer Gene Demanian was ready to hire him. But after a last-minute audition, Barnett's spot in the cast was given to Eddie Murphy. Barnett's last film role was in They Bite. He died of AIDS in 1996. Comedian Dave Chappelle has acknowledged Barnett as an influence. Susie on the Beach. Playboy playmate Susie Owens was brought in for a rather memorable role, getting attacked by a sea monster on the beach, and the rather messy consequences of said attack. Owens first appeared in Playboy in the pictorial Women in White in November 1983. She was Playmate of the Month in March of 1988. Her sole foray into film acting was a co-starring role as Katie in the tongue-in-cheek, schlocky, low-budget horror spoof They Bite. I hope you enjoyed this look at They Bite, and as always, please like and subscribe. Thank you.